Where are we, Ben? Tell everyone where we are.
We are north of the wall.
North of the wall. Welcome back. As you can see, we're not in Scotland anymore. I'm actually at home. I've got home about 2 days ago. Just been getting some rest. It was a long trip, long drive back. So basically, I done an intro with Ben when we was in Scotland. Played the video back, and about 30 seconds into the video, the mic's cut out. Them cheap Amazon mics I've got no good. I'm not going to use them anymore. So you just have to bear with me for the moment until I get a proper, decent set of mics. Anyway, I'm going to save your time now if you don't want to watch the video and see how the trip went and how close, well, Ben came to landing a skate. There are some decent footage to watch still, but we didn't get one. So if you want to end the video now, totally understand. You don't have to. I don't want to waste anybody's time. So I'm just going to run you through how we got on each day, what Ben actually caught, and show you the footage of when he was fighting the skate, because he did hook into 3. So yes, it's up to you. Anyway, so day 1, we got there about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I said to Ben that I was going to get some sleep when we were driving down there. I said, I think I'll get some sleep when we get there, so I'm all nice and refreshed for the evening. We had a 12-hour drive out there. We left about 11 o'clock the night before. So after stopping a couple of times, it took about 12 hours. We were fishing a mark that we have fished before. Ben was in the same spot that he did last time. I was in the same spot that I did last time as well. I was running fixed balls with braid, same setup as last time, no rotten bottom, but these marks are very, very snaggy. There's ledges that go out a hell of a long way in front of you, and the right side where Ben was is not so bad. He only got snagged a couple of times, and I think he managed to get all of his gear back, but the left side where I was fishing, as I said, it's a hell of a lot worse, and I was getting snagged pretty much every time. Now, I didn't run rotten bottom because last year I managed to get my gear back most of the time. I think I only lost maybe 2 sets in total over the 3 days that we were there. I've got a mini rolling pin which I was using, basically wrap the line around it loads of times and then just keep pulling on it and wrapping it around, and eventually most of the time it would come free. Well, on the first day, luck just wasn't on my side. It wasn't happening. From the minute I got there and cast out, I wasn't getting the distance I needed as well. Something with my shot leader knot just kept catching on the eyes. It's exactly the same as I set up last year, but it just wasn't happening. So yeah, I was having a bit of a nightmare. I was getting the odd bites, which I think were either doggies or spurdogs, but nothing was hooking up. The only difference was I was using a 10-0 meat hook this time, whereas last year I was using a 8-0 Sakuma. 8-0 Tamers. Ben was using the same setup as me, but with a 6-0 Tamers, so he did actually have a bit of a result. There you go, Ben with his first ever spurdog. Came in at £9.6, so he's well over the moon with that.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely fish.
Anyone who don't know what a spurdog is, they're similar to a hound, but they got the spurs on the top of the fin there and the back one there. Right, well done, mate.
Can you get it back?
Yeah.
Leading. Bit steep.
There it goes. So the sun's in the way. Ben just had another spur. £6.7, so a bit smaller than the other one, but still good to see. Good signs for tonight.
Get it back.
Yeah, tide's dropped now.
There'll have to be a bit of a launch job.
This is what it is, mate. So they were actually Ben's first spurdogs he's ever caught. So for his first one being, I think it was £9.6, if I remember right. So yeah, great fish for his first one. And then you had the smaller one after that. And then, as I said, we just kept plucking away as the sun was going down. And then about 3 hours into the ebb, this happened.
Mate.
Ben's got a skate on. He's having it off tonight.
No, I'm just holding on to that for now.
Yeah, just let it do its thing, mate.
Oh, hello there.
It's your night, Ben.
Oh, I can't move it.
No, you won't. If it's gone to the bottom, you won't move it. Just got to keep the pressure there and wait for it to let go. What you might want to do is...
Yeah, I'm going to look for. I'm looking for somewhere comfortable.
try and get down there. Right, we'll bring you back in a bit, guys, when we make some progress with this. Yeah, so unfortunately, he lost that one. He's had them off the boat before, but never off the shore. So he's using new reels that he hasn't had very long as well, and basically he just wasn't quite ready for what happened. Tightened the drag up too much, and line snapped. So I was a bit gutted for that. But then I think that was, yeah, as I said, I think that was about 3 hours into the ebb, and then as the tide was flooding in, I think it might have been about 2 hours into the flood, maybe 3 hours, I can't remember. He hooked into another one, and there's the footage on that.
Jesus Christ.
Ben's in again on the skate. Unfortunately, he lost the last one. What happened? I think you tightened the drag up slightly too much.
Yeah, it turned on me.
Yeah, turned, dived. Yeah, but he's in again.
Painful hands really going to be a problem.
Ben fell over earlier and hurt his hand, so he's been in the wars today.
Yeah, I'm making this look more awkward.
Just take your time, mate.
Stop now.
Stuck to the bottom. We'll bring you back in a bit. Hopefully, get this one landed.
Oh man. As soon as you gain anything on it, it just takes it back.
Yeah.
It just goes, no, we're not going this way, we're going this way.
It's a game of tug of war, isn't it? Down, back. Sorry, back down she goes again.
Oh man, seriously?
You're doing well, mate. Just
Huh?
you're doing well. Just keep doing what you're doing.
It's just taking so much luck.
She'll tire out eventually.
Let's have that back. Come on, bitch, get the idea. This way.
Right, we're about 40 minutes in now. Ben's gained some, lost some, gained some, lost some. That's the way it goes though. But from the power and the speed that it was diving, it does seem like a good fish. So it's either an angry male or a big female. How you feeling, Ben?
Not too bad.
Yeah, good.
I'm in an okay position here.
Yeah, you look pretty snug.
Yeah. Keep getting cramp in the arm.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of pressure on it. Alright, bring you back in a bit. Hour and 20 minutes in, and we've got shock leader almost on the rod. Now he's using tapered leader, so still a fair way to go yet, but nearly in. Come on, Ben, you can do it.
I am trying.
Fair play, mate. Yeah, so as you see, he was very unlucky with that one. I mean, the shock leader knot was almost on the eye. It's just fish got caught on that ledge in front of him, and he sat there with the tension on the rod literally for about an hour and a half, just sat there, it just wouldn't budge. And then I think after about 2 hours, maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, he eventually got the weight free, but the fish had gone. So we think that it had got stuck and then went for a dive, and he didn't feel the fish come off. So basically he was sitting there holding into nothing for about an hour and a half. So yeah, it was very unlucky. I was gutted for him on that one because it was very close to landing, and that did seem like a big fish, that one. So that was basically it for day one. Like I said, we were getting the odd bites and it did seem quite productive. Nothing was hooking up for me. As I said, I was using the 10-0 meat hooks, and yeah, it just wasn't happening. So day two, we decided to drive up and have a look at another mark that I'd seen further up north, looking on Navionics, and it looked like a really good mark. Looked on the street view on Google Maps, and it looked amazing. It was ideal. I mean, you're pretty much fishing out of the back of your car into 118 metres of water. And I know they do get a lot of skating there because they have them off the boats. But say we drove 2.5 hours up there with some amazing views, as I'll put on now. basically we got there and it did look like a really good mark, had a lot of potential, but what I couldn't see on the street view when I looked, there's about a 20-foot drop down to the water, and there was no like ledges or rocks that kind of stepped down into the water. It was literally just a straight drop. So if we did get lucky enough to hook into a skate, there's no way we were going to land it. So we had a quick look around, see if there was anywhere close to it that was fishable. We did find one spot, but we would have got cut off at high tide, so we gave up on that idea, decided to go back to where we was on day one and fish that mark. But by the time we got there, we'd missed that first 3 hours of the ebb, which was more productive on day one, and a few people do say that that is a very good time to hook into these skate. So anyway, we got there, fished as much as we could until the sun came up, and we were still getting bites again. Now I decided to run straight braid on day two, so I was getting a hell of a lot more distance. I tried the lead lift to start with, and so did Ben, and he was fine on his side because, as I said, it's not quite so snaggy on his bit, and it's normally over low, it's always worse. But whenever he got snagged, he was able to go onto the ledge, obviously get the rod tip over, and he managed to free it most of the time. So he was absolutely fine. But yeah, for me, I thought I'd run straight braid so I can get a bit more distance, hopefully not get snagged straight away as soon as I'm lifting into it, which most of the time it did work, but I was still getting snagged when it reached them massive ledges in front of me. And that's even with a lead lift. So in the end I decided to run rotten bottom. Now I would have done that straight away, but I only took a certain amount of lead up there with me. I didn't want to keep losing lead after lead, so I thought I'd stick with it and try, you know. But yeah, eventually I just had enough, so I thought I'd run rotten bottom, play it safe, and yeah, so I was getting bites that night. I was getting some nice pullovers, but again nothing was hooking up, and I did change to an 8.0 tamers as well, and then I can't remember what time it was, but it was one time I did actually get snagged up, but it wasn't snagged at the weight. I think it was snagged at the top of the rig somehow. Tried to free it, couldn't get it out, so I thought I'd leave it for a bit. Now when I was sitting in my shelter, just watching the rods, and after about half an hour, my rod just went whack, slammed down, but it didn't take off. There was nothing after that. It literally just like an aggressive bite, and it didn't develop into anything. So I reeled in, nothing there. So I'm wondering if it was either a decent spur dog or a skate had got hold of it but couldn't free the weight or whatever it was stuck on, and then it just caused the line to judder. Just my guess. Can't say for sure because I don't know. Anyway, Ben was getting the odd little nibble and stuff as well, and then I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning, just before the sun was coming up. He shouted over to me, I've just lost another one. So, same thing happened as the first one. He didn't have the drag set up too tight this time, but he thinks he had a little nick in his line from where he was playing the one that he had on the second one, yeah? And the line just snapped, it just gave way. And that was that was day two. Day three, I think, so we stayed at the same mark, day three. Ben didn't have a nibble at all that night, and I only had one bite, nice little pullover, again nothing hooked up, and that was that. So it just seemed like the tides were still building, but it seemed like as each night went on, the fish were getting less and less, if that makes sense. Now I don't know if that's down to our bait, because it was 4 and out, you know, 3 days. So I need to sort something out with that situation for when we go back up there again. Try and keep the bait frozen for longer, or find somewhere after day 2 that we can get some fresh bait, which would be ideal. Anyway, so that was pretty much it for day 3. And then on day 4 we decided to try another mark that I have fished before. Now this is a lovely little mark, it's very popular, so you're quite lucky to get on there, but it's not snaggy. I mean, it is if you get stuck on the ledge right in front of you, but you can always free it, it's not hard. But yeah, nice comfortable mark. There was a couple of locals there, mad guys, and they were literally chucking out like a herring and a half every time, literally every 10-15 minutes. So if anything, they were chumming the water, but neither of us had a touch. So yeah, Ben came very close, but overall we failed. It was just one of them trips for me. My phone messed up as well, something to do with not recognising that I had data, and yeah, I had to use Ben's phone to get home. It's just one of them trips that I'd happily put behind me. We had a lovely time away, we got lucky with the weather. A bit cold early hours in the morning, but other than that it was pretty fine. It only rained hard on one of the nights, so yeah, nice time away. We're learning more each time we go. We just need to find other marks that we can fish that are not quite so snaggy, really, you know. But we've been looking around, and we're going to go back. It just sucks that if I don't end up going back this year, which I probably won't unless it's like late on in the year, like the start of the winter, because the rest of the year they do say you can get skate all year round, but the winter time is more productive. So me personally, I don't think it's worth wasting your time through like summer and autumn months and that. So I don't know when I'll be back up there, but I'm gutted. The worst thing is I could have to wait a whole year before I can get back up there, but I'm going to do my best to see if I can get up there before. So yeah, anyway, that's it guys. I'm back out tonight again, just locally with Ben, so we'll see how we get on. If you stuck it around for this long, then thank you for watching, I do appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.